Dr. Swarna, Mr. Nachiappan, Mr. Shivakumar, Mr. N. Vishwanathan, and Mr. M. Vishwanathan to have this fantastic e-webinar during this coronavirus lockdown period. And it always gives the insight about the industry. And I like to really appreciate for the good initiatives taken by the team. Thank you. Today we are going to discuss about the post-lockdown scenario of the footwear industry after the COVID pandemic, what we are facing. Before going into the present situation, I'd like to just give you a small brief on what is about the industry. You see the leather industry, the overview of the industry. Leather industry holds a prominent place in the Indian economy. The sector is known for export earnings and it's among the top 10 foreign exchange earners in the country. The leather products, what we export is over 5.6 billion US dollar. This is the 1819 numbers. And leather industry is employment incentive sector, providing job to over 4 million people. And majority of the women are employed in the industry. India is the second largest producer of footwear in the world, producing around 2.5 billion pairs. And out of this, almost 90% is going for the domestic consumption. Almost 10% we are sending it to the export. India is also the second largest exporter of the leather garments and third largest exporter of saddlery. The major production centers are located in many parts of the India, and Tamil Nadu is being one of the prominent where we have in Chennai, Ambur, Ranipet, Vanembadi, Vellore, Pernambet, Trichy, Dindigul, Erode. And also we have in Kolkata, Kanpur, Maharashtra, Telangana, and majority. So almost 37% of the leather products are being exported from Tamil Nadu. If you break up the percentage of leather and leather products, footwear plays a major role. 40%, close to 41% is the leather footwear exporter, what we are doing. And non-leather footwear takes 6% of the share, and footwear components accounts for 5% of the share. Leather goods is the second largest after the leather footwear with 26%. Finished leather is 11%. If you see on the leather and leather products, the footwear and footwear components is accounting for the 51% of the share of the exports. Just a present footwear scenario. India is the second largest footwear producer after China. We are producing around 2.5 billion pairs comparing to 13 billion pairs produced in China. And if you see the export, what we are doing against the production, India is the sixth largest exporting country. And we exported 262 million pairs in 2018. And the top countries which we export, majorly USA, Germany, UK, Italy, France, Spain, Netherlands, the list goes on. And out of the countries, 10 countries accounts for almost 70% of our exports. And presently, almost all the 70% of the countries are very badly affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. So what we are going to face in the COVID is several challenges is arising because of the COVID-19 crisis. Since footwear is not essential goods, similar like clothing and footwear, fashion items is particularly hit with the impact of the spread of COVID-19. Retailers and manufacturers are facing several challenges and will continue to do so. As we navigate the epidemic and sanitary crisis, the immediate consequences for fashion companies are known. Retail locations in many countries, orders have been suspended or cancelled, impacting the manufacturing businesses. Orders pre-epidemic or on the verge of arriving to closed stores or not leaving warehouses, and inventory is getting piled up. Employees of many shops and factories are at home or have been laid off. So far, the scenario is known to everyone, all of us, and it's familiar to many of us. What's going to be the future? The question starting to concern the business relate to the future. The length of the lockdowns and the quarantines will have an impact on the extent of the hit, but many other factors will have to be taken into consideration. Depending on when uh, and how the return to the so-called normality takes place, many questions will arise. Will retailers have the articles they need to put in the shelves? Or more accurately, will the articles in the stores be the right type not to miss the recovery? Some might argue that retailers will accumulate inventory, so it won't be a question of missing articles. However, let us not ignore that fashion items are particularly sensitive to the time element, and businesses might have to prepare to the fact that items piling up might simply go out of style. As stores close the doors, many orders are cancelled, and the several of many manufacturing businesses is at risk. The question now seems to be how long the factories will be able to survive with a little or no orders coming in. In a limit situation, when the time comes and retail needs items to be put on the shelves, if the suppliers from the past will be still around. Everyone is talking about online. Online is being referred to as many as the holy grail in crisis with no precedents in modern times. The big question seems to be, are companies ready for a boom in online orders? Doesn't seem to be the case. Several stores are having issues with the delivery times of online orders. According to what was recently reported by The Economist, Next, an UK-based fashion retailer reopened its website on 14th April, but had to close it after 2 hours of operation as it reached the maximum number of orders it could fulfill with reduced staff. Big brands and big retailers will have the ability to recover quickly if their supplier managed to survive. But small brands and small companies will have more difficulties in times of resources, personal and financial. What it's changing the buying experience. All the issues concerning the buying experience in the past sanitary crisis adds another layer of uncertainty. Even and when governments start to elevate some of the restriction measures they have put in place to face the sanitary crisis, the confidence of the consumer will certainly be impacted by the weeks of confinement. Some analysis are already working with types of consumers in the near future, and one cannot ignore that a percentage will focus on essential goods. Avoiding all that can be avoided. Others might not want to go to brick and mortar, fearing they are putting their health at risk. This will raise other questions, and companies will have to reinvent themselves and adapt quickly to the new environment. What's going to be the impact in the footwear market, which is the predominantly the biggest share of the leather products? The global footwear consumption is expected to fall by 22.5% this year, which is representing a shortfall of 5 billion over 5 billion pairs COVID pandemic, according to a forecast made by a panel of experts from World Footwear. Um, Consumption is expected to decline by 27%, or around 900 million pairs in Europe, around 21%, which is around 700 million pairs in America, North America, and around 20% in the Asia, which is around 2.4 million pairs. A separate survey carried out by the Italian Retailers Association showed that sales of footwear and clothing have fallen to zero for stores not equipped with e-commerce platform after Italy entered a nationwide lockdown on March 11th. For the whole month of March, sales of footwear and clothing through all channels fell by 67.4%. What is to our industry? There is a statement given by CLE. Due to COVID-19 pandemic, there is a 35% decline in export orders. The sector is in Tamil Nadu alone has lost export orders worth of $370 million, close to 2,800 crores, due to unilateral cancellation of export orders by buyers as against loss of export orders to the tune of 1 billion at the all India level. Our major markets, namely Europe and USA, to which 70% of our exports are directed, have been severely affected by the pandemic. Hence, the industry will face more export order losses in the coming days. Buyers have put on hold the shipments which are ready for export, and payments for the shipments are already made or postponed. Due to the lockdown, the supply chain is affected. what's going to be the impact? The impact is going to be across the industry, and we are going to face order cancellations, price reductions, liquidity crisis, bankruptcy threats, uncertainty, unemployment, forex currency risks, crisis management, deglobalization. Coming into the deglobalization, Spain, Portugal to benefit from accelerated. This is one of the news what we got. The novel coronavirus could lead to an acceleration in the reshoring of manufacturing to Europe, and move out of China is also benefiting countries such as Vietnam. But the pandemic has reached the appeal to those destinations, and we must expect big changes as COVID-19 forces deglobalization. Even though not all manufacturing will be focused to Europe, but there will be a lot of deglobalization will be happening. And like in India, like the made in India, I think many of the European countries will go back to the manufacturing base, and this will, to come out of the China. Even before the COVID, due to the tariff situations, the whole world was thinking to reduce their dependency on China. With the COVID, and I think the manufacturing will be spread across the globe, maybe in Europe as well as in US. Due to COVID-19 pandemic, especially in terms of footwear, we will have a big impact, especially on the present two seasons. The autumn winter 20 seasons, where most of the factories have received orders close to 50%, and the remaining orders, the forecasts have been stopped by the buyers and customers, and also cancellations have come, and their customers is recalibrating the forecasters. And not only the autumn winter 20 season, the spring summer 21 is going to be the biggest challenge. While I was talking with many brands, what they're saying, the sale which is dropped in the marketplace, especially in Europe and US, it's spring summer 20 products, and the brands is going to have huge stocks lying with them, especially the seasonal products which they're supposed to sell only in summer. Since they're losing the big selling period in spring summer, the brands are expecting the spring summer 21 orders will be a big impact apart from the present autumn winter. So hopefully, at least for 2 seasons, we are going to have a big impact because of this COVID, and hoping that things should get back to normal from autumn winter 21 onwards. But it's not going to be easy going forward. It's going to rise as have a lot of challenges we have to face, and there will be a lot of competition. Even China had this COVID problem before everyone. They have to foresee to close their manufacturing when the market was open. But now they're open, they're producing. I think they're producing the orders which is lying with them. And they're also, I'm hearing that next 2-3 months, they don't have any orders. So the competition is going to be very, very tough. And we have to convert all the challenges as opportunity, like the deglobalization, and look at what India is going to gain out of this deglobalization. And we have to increase our efficiencies, and we have to be more agile. We'll have to increase our line productivity. We have to reduce our costs, and we have to deliver to our customers on time. We have to reduce our lead time. We have to also start manufacturing more sustainable products. And of course, we have to be more competitive, as we are going to have many competition across many countries. Going to be a big challenge, and we have to stay focused, and probably we'll look towards growing phase after coming out of these challenges. Thank you.